8 years is not a long time, but it is enough to learn one or two things. And key among them is the need to believe. You must believe. And I thank God that here our foundation is God. You need to understand what discipline is all about. And I have experienced that through the 8 years.
Kalikumutima and Company Advocates, translating visions into reality.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're most welcome to our podcast this week. And this week, we are looking at the Kalikumutima story. As you know already, our farm is making 8 years this year. And we're really delighted to have a number of things lined up. And one of them is this particular initiative to get to share with you the Kalikumutima story and hearing it directly from the visionary behind the farm. And so I would like to introduce to you, of course, really needs no further introduction, the Chief Executive Partner here at Kalikumutima and Company Advocates, Rotarian Deo Kalikumutima. And I'm going to invite him first to say hello, and then we'll take a deep dive into what we're going to be discussing this evening. Council, you're most welcome.
Thank you so much, Howard. Good evening, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. This time I'll not say good night. We thank the good Lord for today, for the 8 years, for how far we have come. And I'm glad to be here.
Okay.
Ecstatic.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Council, for accepting to share with us some of, the memories, that really speak to the foundation of the farm. And we can't wait for some of us already who are at the farm. We've had a bit of it, but I'm sure our audience might be wondering, okay, 8 years, what has that been like? So perhaps we begin with from the very beginning, what inspired you to start the farm in the very first place?
Service. It has been purely about service from the onset.
Yeah.
I thank God for the opportunity to serve, for being mentored by the best.
Yeah.
Before I started the farm, I worked with Messrs. GP Advocates, formerly Omnyokol and Company Advocates, where I received the best training. I had the best role models, the best mentors, and service was the core.
Yeah.
So when the time was right, and that is God's timing, I decided to start my call of duty, which is to serve, to make a difference in society. Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that has been really brief. Maybe to go deeper into that discussion, to just find out from you what the journey has been like for the last or past 8 years, from the time of the foundation of the farm in 2016 hither to what has that journey been like? I mean, it's been a long 8 years, and so I would like to hear from you, how has that journey been in your perspective?
It has actually been a short 8 years. It's been a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
One may actually wonder, why are we even talking about 8 years? Why not wait for 100 years, 50 years, 20, 30? But as a believer, as a Christian, and I'm not going to be apologetic for overemphasizing it, we must be appreciative for every second that we get, for every minute, for every hour, for every day, every week, every month, and every year. It has been a challenging experience. It has been a fun experience. At some points, horrendous, but generally fulfilling, fruitful. Of course, starting it is never easy.
Yeah.
You're going to have many people pushing you, and you're going to keep asking yourself, am I ready? Is it the right time? Do I need more time? But when is the right time?
Yeah.
The right time is now. That moment when you make that decision. And from the moment that I did in October 2016, it has been quite a ride. I thank God for the wonderful people that I have met, the people who formed this vision. I didn't start this alone.
Yeah.
We have people that are behind us, some that will be sharing with us in due course in the next episodes that have made this journey worthwhile. Of course, suffice to note the team. Need I say yourself? The team that joined us along the way. If this was a military, I would be saying RO this. No, it's not.
Yeah.
I know one of our fans out there wants to jump at me right now. Of course, I also need to quickly talk about the clients.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's about service. So every day you get to learn, unlearn, relearn. You look forward to the challenge. You fall, you get up. And that's why I call it quite a ride. A ride that you never prepared for fully.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Many things are going to unfold along the way. To a great extent, you're actually learning on the job.
Yeah, that's right.
In school, I was not taught how to be a CEO or a managing partner or a team leader. I had to make sure that I become the best leader that I can be. And that has been part of the journey.
Yeah.
I thank God that I've been a leader from my young days, but this is when you get to experience the realities, the difference between leadership, for example, and management.
Yeah.
Leadership is purely about service, not just throwing instructions all over the place. You know, then you also get to appreciate the business perspective of things.
Yeah.
So I can go on and on about the 8 years. Your patience gets tested.
Yeah, certainly.
Every day. You cannot be perfect. You have to be near perfect, or at least pretend to be perfect. But again, pretense is not enough. You have to keep it real.
Yeah.
So it's been fulfilling. If God gave me a chance to live again and asked me what I wanted to do, I would want to do this again one more time, but maybe do it a better way, correct some mistakes. Yeah, I've had a couple. Stepped on a few toes.
Yeah.
Go back and massage them a little bit. Bruised some egos, including my own. 8 years is not a long time, but it is enough to learn one or two things. And key among them is the need to believe. You must believe. And I thank God that here our foundation is God. You need to understand what discipline is all about. And I have experienced that through the 8 years. These are the basics that you actually taught growing up.
Yeah.
You know those little things that you take for granted?
Yeah.
Don't abuse so and so. Don't raise your voice. Do not touch this. Do not steal that. So many years after, it becomes reality for you. Now, in bigger transactions, in bigger cases, those basics that seem so trivial have been so real to me. The need to be consistent. Teamwork. When I started out, I used to call myself the one-man army. Bring it my way, I got this. But you reach a point where you ain't got none. You need to have people that you can count on, people that can count on you. So you get to experience all these things. We're not taught most of this stuff in school.
Yeah.
You actually realize more every day that school is just a stepping stone.
True.
It's not an end in itself. It's a means to an end. Yeah, so it's been interesting. I look forward to many more fruitful and happy years, and getting to realize more and more of what actually matters in life. You get to understand what value means. Value beyond money, for example. For many, value is money.
Yeah, true.
I have offered the service, I'm going to get paid. What about the relationships that you get out of the service? And these include referrals. So things like value, relevance become your new reality.
Yeah.
Then the need for resilience. Like I said, 8 years is not a very long time, it's actually short. But you're going to fall, and you'll have to get up. You need to redefine yourself every day. You need to embrace the challenge. You need to not just be thick-skinned. You need to be resilient. You need to be ready for a fight every day. You need to be ready to be judged. Because if you set a standard and you say, I want to be the best, and now indeed I'm the best, you must live up to that standard every day.
Yeah, true.
You can't put one foot here and the other there. No. You have to live by that. It's not easy, and you have to create a culture for yourself. You have to create a formula. You're going to read so many books, listen to so many coaches, so many flowery statements and roses will be coming your way. Do this like this, don't do that. But through the 8 years, I've been able to come up with what makes sense to me. I have been able to come up with my formula, what works for Deo. But again, this is not just about Deo. It's about the farm. So through that, I have been able to form a vision for the farm.
That's right.
The farm has been able to build a culture that is centered around its people. Here we don't have employees, we don't have staff. We have strategic partners. Every component here is so integral that even if it is security or food, we depend a lot on each other. That's why we look at each component as a strategic partnership. There is value coming from different angles. We are looking at improving every corner, stone, every pillar, and you cannot do it without your people. This is a lot that we have learned along the 8 years, and it keeps changing every day, where you're not just looking at people as statistics, as overheads, as a cost. You look at them and smile and say, because of that guy there, because of that lady there, we are doing something great together. True meaning is how I can sum it up. Yeah.
Wow, that's a very interesting account, of the foundation of the farm. And just hearing the story behind, really, it speaks fundamentally to our values and every component you'd say to our, 4 values, which the core values, really fidelity, resilience, excellence, and innovation. If you look at that story and analyze it, you see it fits rightly into our core values and who we are as a farmer. That's really, really, really interesting. But maybe to again go deeper into just the, from your experience, what are some of those achievements, some of those milestones that stand out to you as the most significant from the farm's inception?
One building a professional, dedicated, ethical, or disciplined apparatus, where you have a solid team. It's a great achievement. Where you have a team of dedicated individuals who are committing every day 80 or 70% of their time here to serve. That is exceptional.
Yeah.
Who are dedicated and are consistent. That is a great achievement. Then being able to serve and meet our clients' needs, understanding our clientele, their tastes, their preferences, adjusting accordingly, being as adaptive, as agile as possible. That is a great achievement. Then I'll talk about innovation. I thank God that every unit of this farm has an innovation plan. And the farm has an innovation master plan. Now, in this day and age, in the age of globalization, you have to reinvent yourself every day.
Yeah, that's true.
In order to remain competitive, in order to remain relevant, and most importantly, in order to meet your clients' needs. Because like I said, to serve is our calling. To serve is our duty. That is why we must keep innovative. And I'm happy to report that every day we keep growing in this regard. In terms of technology, the farm has a farm management system that is used by all our people. We have an ICT department that is headed by our IT manager.
Yes.
Need I say, Engineer Isaac Sendagiri.
Yeah.
I think if it was one of these local shows, I would say, oh, shout out to my man Isaac. But I'm not going to say that. So this is key. I mean, I'm not going to be American here and blow my own trumpet or our trumpet, but how many people are doing that today? Not many. Yeah. So I must thank the farm, the team that is looking out to set themselves apart. Then looking at the new trends in the practice. I'm not going to talk about Howard Mark Mwesigwa and the exceptional work that he's doing in his department, but we all know that he's our team leader, energy, environment, and sustainability.
Wow.
Wow, he is. And he's doing an exceptional job.
Thank you, Council.
So the world is moving.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it as simple as I can. The world is evolving, and we must evolve with it. And I'm happy to report that we are doing so, and it's a great achievement. Tax. Shortly, or in the next episode, we'll be joined by Miss Angela Penelope Nansamba, our team leader, tax. A young lawyer. I know my son Alfred Muyaka runs the Dear Young Lawyer series. Again, I will not be outlandish, otherwise I would go, oh, shout out to all the young lawyers out there. But it is actually a privilege to be young. Because then maybe you still have some time on your clock.
Yeah.
you still have some time to do things right. You still have some juice in your tank. I must confess that I feel like a young lawyer right now. I think I still have some juice in my tank. I'm sure Alfred, who will also be joining us in our next episode, agrees with me. So having this young, dedicated, dynamic team is also an achievement in itself.
Yeah, that's true.
We are coming from times where being young was a reference of ignorance.
True.
So-and-so is young, they don't know much. Now, so-and-so is young, they are energetic, they are dynamic, they are ambitious, straight up smart, and they are ready for a challenge every day. So I actually can't wait for the episode of Angela, Alfred, where we get a feel of that energy, you know? That is another achievement. Then strategic partnerships.
Yeah.
God has blessed us with many wonderful clients. Unfortunately, I'm not going to list names here for obvious reasons.
Obvious reasons, yes. Yeah.
But this has afforded us an opportunity not only to serve, but to partner with our clients. And we are doing great things out there. Some may or may not come out in the media, but we are doing great things together. So, key to mention, of course, again with globalization, strategic partnerships are not only going to give you a competitive edge, they're going to keep you growing. They will enable you meet the customers or clients' needs every day. So I could go on and on, but for now, you will allow me stop there.
Yeah.
I'm happy to wind back to it later.
Yeah. Wow, thank you so much, Council, for sharing thus far. And always say that, behind every successful story, there is that untold story. And that untold story usually embodies the challenges, the silent struggles one has in probably achieving a certain milestone. So in the foundation, but also in building the farm hitherto, what are some of those challenges that really tested your faith in the initiative that you had begun, in the vision that you had for the farm, and how were you able to overcome them? Or even now, how are you able to still overcome them? Because, as you mentioned, it's a challenge that comes your way, and you often tell us that somehow the clients have all these expectations that you can do miracles. They just bring the problems your way or choose the hardest on their end and believe you are the one with the solution. So how have you been overcoming over the years some of these challenges, and what are those practices you continue to apply that have helped you build such a successful legal practice, but also on your end as a lawyer who has been in practice for all this while, bringing this number of this team around you to ensure that they share in your vision and are able to move in the same direction?
Thank you, Howard. I'm not going to list all the challenges because of time and the practices to overcome, but I'll mention some. One, like I said, the world is evolving. And believe me, it is moving pretty fast. We did witness the great disruption during COVID. Now, that in itself was a challenge.
Yeah, true.
The uncertainty posed by COVID itself was a challenge. And it was a wake-up call for us, for me as an individual and for the firm. Now, how do we work through such a turmoil? Where you're not sure that you're going to live tomorrow, suddenly everyone has to become a geek, like Engineer Isaac, embrace technology and become so good at it.
Right.
So that has been a challenge, but through innovation, through a very supportive, dedicated team, and through strategic partnerships, and more importantly, through our foundation, which is God. and our core values, we are able to overcome. Secondly, we operate in a self-defeating realm. And I'm not just talking about the public sector.
Yeah.
It is so alive even in the private sector.
Yeah, true.
Where someone gives you an instruction to do A, and they make it so hard for you to achieve A, yet they want A. Now, you're going to step on toes. You're going to make enemies, and it's a big challenge. But like I said earlier, you must be resilient. You must stick to what matters. You must stick to your craft. You must understand your calling to serve. Understand your client, and more importantly, their needs. Then I really don't like politics, so I'm not going to go into that arena. We also have the rule of law, for example. It is beyond debate that the rule of law in this country has challenges. I'm not going to delve into the specifics or point fingers or go into a blame game. Now, when you're operating in such an environment, you're going to hold your cards very tight to your chest and watch every move. And as a result, there will be other challenges like fear. So many what ifs. You're given this instruction, there is so-and-so involved, so-and-so's son, so-and-so's this and that and that. And again, these are things you don't learn in school. You learn them on the job. The difference between the what is and what ought to be or what should be. Then, again, you're not going to become God and put everything right in life, correct everything, you know? So the other challenge is, where do I cut a balance every day? I must meet my clients' needs, satisfy them. I must keep my people at the farm happy. I must keep my family happy. I must keep myself happy. My God happy. That balance is not easy. Which brings me to another challenge, the work-life balance.
True.
Every day of my life, whether I'm sick or not, I have to be in town. I will not mention the time, not that there are people following me around, but I have to be in town early and many times leave late because I get to live once and I have my day portioned out accordingly. I have to pray. I will have several meetings, maybe go to court. And it's not easy to have that balance. That's why you have to keep talking to your people. You have to talk to your God, first of all. You have to talk to yourself. People need to understand that they need to get time to talk to themselves. Say, hey, you have that one-man meeting where you're the board chair and secretary, and say, hey, you need to slow down. Talk to your family. So, like I said, there are several challenges. But at the end of the day, the biggest solution is in belief, discipline, consistency, being adaptive, agile, understanding your duty to serve, which entails understanding the client.
Wow, one would wonder when you're going to publish that book, Council. Anyways,
I think Engineer Isaac will give us feedback on that. Yesterday I was at a certain fora. I'm glad that I serve as a Rotarian, a humanitarian, and Suddenly I started talking about weight loss, and I told them I'm working on a book. So, Isaac, wherever you are, engineer, we have 2 books. Let's move as fast as we can.
Is it published?
He's he fixes it, Mr. Fix It.
Yeah. Anyways, Council, now getting to the assessment of the farm's activities at present. In your opinion, how closely do they align with, it's been 8 years down the road, how closely do they align with the picture, if indeed they actually do, how closely do they align with the picture you had when you were setting out, where the farm is? Is that what you envisioned at the 8-year mark when you were beginning, at the inception, when you envisioned the farm maybe 8, 9, 10 or so years, where we are today as a farm? Is it something you envisioned at the inception?
Honestly, yes and no. Yes, I chose to believe. It was not easy. I was delving into a gray area and certain territory, but I had a supporting team around me, and I could feel that we were going to do something great. We were going to grow and keep growing. So to that extent, yes, most of the things that we have achieved and many more of the things that we're going to achieve are in line with growth. No, I didn't know the specifics. I didn't know that we would have COVID. I didn't know that we would have certain disruptions. I knew that the globe was evolving. Like I said, 8 years is a short time. It's not so far back. But I didn't know that we would be moving this fast. But I thank God that we have been adaptive, and the vision is aligned. What we had back then, what we have now, and where we are heading.
Wow. Maybe when still getting to your assessment of the last 8 years, it would be a good opportunity for you to share with our audience what the farm really focuses on. What are some of our primary areas of practice as Kalikumutima and Company advocates?
All right. We are a commercial practice.
Yes.
And I believe soon we'll be covering most of what falls under commercial. But you see, even commercial is very wide. However, for now, we have, I'll start with Howard's department, Energy, Environment and Sustainability. We have cybersecurity. We have litigation, stroke, alternative dispute resolution under the Department of Litigation, of course. We have real estate and land. We have banking and finance. I must quickly go to tax before Angela pierces through me. We have tax. We have debt collection and rehabilitation. Because of the approach that we're using in debt collection now, that's why we quickly added rehabilitation to it. We have immigration. We have supply chain and procurement, to mention but a few.
Okay, wow. It's a commercial practice, but it's for us, it's beyond just the service, really, beyond the profit or the money. We seek to, and this I've seen over the years because I've had the privilege of seeing the farm grow from a smaller space, a smaller team. Sometimes I would leave to go to school and then come back, and it's a bigger space, it's a bigger team. And so getting to see that and seeing the relationship we cultivate with our clients over the years, some have been over the years. So it's really, really inspirational, I must say, that council. And maybe now we need to speak to the young lawyers, out there who want to, someday open up their own law firms. What message would you have for them?
Alfred Muyaka, dear young lawyer. No, he's a wonderful guy. It's good to be young. So thank God that you're young. But this is just a phase, it's a transition.
Yeah.
You're not going to be young forever. I did allude to it earlier. You're not going to be a young lawyer forever. So before you jump into starting your own apparatus, you need to take off time and understand what you're getting into. There's a difference between a practice and a business. And this is something that I learned on the job. When I started out 8 years ago, we started this firm as a practice. We are professionals. Well, I thank God that I didn't start from scratch. And this is something that I need to encourage the young lawyers. And I know some will take it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
But you need guidance, for heaven's sake.
Yeah.
You need to be mentored. At least minimum, until you get your third practicing certificate. High court, that is second, in total 3. You need mentorship. I thank God that I was mentored by some of the best that we have in this country. Mr. Jojo Mnyokol and team did a wonderful job with me. I had been in practice for some time, so I didn't start from scratch. So mentorship should be there. Then understand what a business is, the basics. You see, even if you're not a lawyer, if you're going to start a kiosk in your village, look at your client or customer base. What are their needs? So take off time, benchmark. I have someone out there who loves that phrase so much. She uses it a lot. Even where it is not, she benchmarks everything. I'm going to benchmark this church. So, benchmark.
Right, yeah.
Understand the landscape.
Landscape, yes.
In business, we call it analysis. Situational analysis, market analysis. And do a risk analysis too. If you're starting any business, and the same applies to what? To legal.
Yeah, true.
And do not let anyone talk you down and say, no, you cannot do this because you're young. No. And don't misunderstand me. I did say, and without contradicting myself, that you need to be mentored. This does not mean that you're going to be mentored forever. And in any event, mentorship can continue even when you start your own practice anyway.
True.
Then, in addition to understanding your competition and your landscape, look at the world over. Where have we come from? Where are we heading? What are the trends? Understand the trends. You guys keep throwing jokes of Chibanja lawyers. Do you want to become a Chibanja lawyer? Ask yourself, what kind of lawyer do I want to be?
Yeah, it's very important.
Is it about human rights? Make up your mind. Honestly speaking, where we are heading, it will not be enough to be a general practitioner. So cut out your practice, understand the business, and structure it accordingly. Don't just dive in. No. believe me, it's a deep end. Yeah. It's a deep end. And if you do this right, you structure right, you're going to grow accordingly. If you just fall in, you're going to drop accordingly.
Yeah.
And like I hinted earlier, most of this stuff is not taught in school.
Right.
You realize very little is actually taught in school. Very little. You're going to be your own teacher. You're going to need the right role models and mentors. You need to explore. You need to discover. Yeah. Yeah. So, dear young lawyer,
Right.
the future is very bright.
Yeah.
Don't let anyone talk you down.
Yeah.
We are living in an age of diversity and inclusion. Gender, those primitive, archaic, woman this, woman cannot do that. That stuff does not work today.
Yeah.
I thank God the farm here,
Yeah.
60% ladies,
It actually strikes me as 80%.
80%.
It strikes me as, I could be wrong.
Management of the farm,
Yeah.
70% ladies.
Yeah.
Smart, kind, loyal, committed, dedicated to their craft.
Yeah.
And you're going to have challenges, but don't let this put you down. You must man up. I'm not going to say woman up, but I'm sure you know what I mean. Face that challenge. Define yourself, redefine yourself. That's the only way you're going to thrive. Copy and paste is not going to work for you.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
not.
Yeah.
It's not. And this is me sharing my experience, so it's my opinion.
Yeah.
These formulas, oh, so and so did this, they did it like this. No. These formulas can inform how you do your work, but they should not dictate. They shouldn't. And you must dedicate yourself. You must believe. You must be disciplined. You must be consistent. You should not be greedy. Because Alfred drives the latest Mercedes, it doesn't mean that you should.
Amen to that.
It doesn't mean that you should steal one.
Yeah.
Come on, there's a reason why we say Rome wasn't built in one day.
Yeah, that's right.
1 + 1 = 2, depending on how many glasses of water you've had.
It could be
Block
another yeah, so.
per block.
Yeah. True.
Because once you're greedy, you're going to lose track of the big picture. You're going to burn relationships, you're going to burn bridges. And you must look at value. You must look at relevance. Where is the value? What am I bringing to the table? You must always look for
Your value.
the value.
Yeah.
Because that is going to set you apart. Then you will know your value. You will know the value expected. And you're not going to jump all over the place. And you should appreciate the fact that time is expensive.
Yeah.
So don't think that you're going to be young forever. No. This is just a phase. The next young lawyer is in first year.
Yeah.
And maybe lastly, it is not enough to be cool. You're not going to go to any supermarket. My friend Alfred loves chapati, like most of us do.
Wow.
And say, yo, give me a chapati, I'm cool. No.
Dear young lawyer.
Quid pro quo.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not enough to be cool.
Yeah. Wow.
It's not. And it's not enough to make the loudest noise. What we are looking for is sensible noise. Now, I know our young lawyers have been having challenges. Some are at home, wondering, where do I fit in?
Yeah.
You're not going to get these solutions in one day, but it's not too late. Ask yourself, what world am I living in today? How can I package myself to fit in? Or if you feel you're too big for the world to fit in me, we have all these new trends. We have areas of practice where we have one or two lawyers. Areas like private-public partnerships, intellectual property, these gray areas. People need to start looking there. Beyond, I'm going to draft an agreement for 1,000 shillings. No, that is not going to work anymore. It comes back to the discussion of value. Because if you package yourself the right way, you may not even need to look for a job. The job is going to look for you.
Yeah, true.
You may not need to look for a job, you're going to create one.
It's true.
So, it's actually in your court. The ball is on you. In your court. Your destiny is in your hands. Of course, we would have loved to have scenarios where we guide our young lawyers from the moment they join university. Have the right mentorship. So this is a challenge to the academic institutions.
Yeah, true.
Do we have the right curriculum? How are we preparing these lawyers to face the world? Are we preparing them anyway? There's a problem. So the challenge is, are we going to solve all these problems, put the curriculum right, create jobs? No, but we can start somewhere. For those of you looking for jobs, look at value. Package yourself the right way. For those of you manning these academic institutions, mentor, guide your students the right way. Prepare them for the real world. Do not just churn out lawyers like you're churning out sheep. No. Give them value for their money. What products are you sending into the world? Are they ready to face it anyway? My 2 cents.
Wow, thank you so much, Council. You've said quite, a great deal in that regard, and I don't know where to pick it up from, whether from the aspect of, young lawyers finding their niche, or even to the kind of legal education we are having, because how different is the legal education we had 2 decades ago and the one we are having now? Is it preparing the same lawyer for the same environment? So I think these are some of the critical questions that we must find answers to. But maybe before moving to the second last question, on finding one's niche, how were you able to find, your niche in, the corporate and commercial practice? And right now, you say it has been a little time, but the kind of trajectory of growth that we've had as a firm, you find that many people know Kalikumutima and Co, even without knowing, say, Council Deo per se, but the brand. So how were you able to find that niche and pursue it, notwithstanding the challenges you had in the beginning?
One, forming a vision early enough, a mission, having the right goals and objectives, having the desire to build something sustainable. So it occurred to me that I wasn't going to achieve that by jumping all over the place. That's why I decided to look for something that made sense to me, something that I was passionate about, an area where we would be able to serve and serve adequately. Build value, offer value, build capacity. That's how I was able to do it. But again, having the right mentorship and the right role models and the values that I alluded to earlier, that has shaped where the farm is at now, where we came from, and where we're heading. Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much, Council. So as we prepare to land the plane, just to hear from you really how this journey has shaped, your professional and personal growth over the years. How would you say that being the founder or the chief executive partner here at the farm, how has that really played a role in your career, in your professional and personal growth as an individual?
I thank God that I've reached a point where there is now a clear distinction between the person of Kalikumutima Deo and the firm Kalikumutima and Company Advocates. To the extent that I bump into conversations where people are talking about Kalikumutima Deo and they don't know the guy, and they have been good conversations.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that there's a clear distinction now. This journey has shaped me as a leader. It has become clearer what service is about. But also, additionally, my values as an individual. I have every day had the opportunity to appreciate better what actually matters in life. Like I said, beyond money, which is true service, meaningful relationships, learning and relearning on a personal level. I'm the chief servant here. I'm not the chief executive partner.
I wouldn't put it like that, but okay.
So all these hurdles have shaped me.
Yeah.
And they continue to shape me. And having a wonderful team that I'm so proud of around me keeps me going. It keeps energizing me. It keeps me hopeful. It keeps me craving for more. It has made me more determined. It has made me more hungry. It has surely made me a better person. It has redefined me, and it continues to do so. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Now looking into the future. I mean, we're celebrating 8 years this year, and so one would probably wonder, where is the farm headed, right? Because when you're celebrating the past achievements, that introspection is very important, but also it's a point to, do some maybe projection of, where do we see ourselves, in the next 10, in the next 15, 20 years as Kalikumutima and Company. On your end, as the visionary behind the farm, where do you see the farm in the next 10 or so years?
Our vision and mission to be a leading commercial practice in the region is a key guiding factor.
Yeah.
So, by God's grace, we are going to keep growing. We have structured accordingly. We'll have more growth, not just at a strategic level, but also as far as the business units, the respective units are concerned. We want to reach a point where we have the units not autonomous, where we have fully functional units controlling their own budgets, controlling their own activities. We are running a flat organization here, where we have every person in this farm fully involved in the innovation, in all the activities that they are doing. If it's energy, taking on more projects, building more partnerships, continuing with the mentorship. I think I didn't talk about the mentorship and training. Now, we have been doing it at a farm level, but not so much at a section or unit level. We want to have the respective units mentoring, training, not just to build our capacity as a farm, but to help fill the void, the gap left by these academic institutions, where we prepare the young lawyers to face the world. Then also, hopefully, like I said, I don't think we're even covering 70% of what is commercial. We're not covering it all. Adding to the departments that we have, going beyond the normal course of practice. Right now, we are looking at areas like agriculture, forestry. We add to a fair extent because of energy, environment, and sustainability. But there's a lot more we can do, especially in supporting the value chain. So growing all the existing departments, but also starting up new ones. Then, as far as our clients are concerned, improving our service provision through our innovation plans. For example, we hopefully soon or in the near future, we're going to be working on a portal to enable our clients interface with the farm beyond just the emails. We already have the farm management system, but it doesn't have that interface. Well, in addition to the emails, we engage our clients through the website, but that is not enough. We want to make service delivery a lot easier. Real time, 24/7. Unfortunately, Engineer Isaac has disappeared. I know in one of the episodes he will also be talking about the portal, maybe the app too. We want to leverage as much as we can on technology to make service delivery easier, to make training easier. As far as presence is concerned, we may not go beyond where we are currently. That is Kampala, Mbale, Mbarara, and Mityana. But we shall also improve the offering there. Again, with technology, you don't have to have branches all over the place. You can actually interface with the whole world. So we shall surely, by God's grace, have more virtual interfaces.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah. To mention but a few. Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much, Council, for sharing with us, our story from your perspective. And I must really, really, really appreciate you, Council, first and foremost for your humility, for accepting to do this. It's not something we take for granted to share, the story from your perspective as a visionary, but also in the grander scheme, really, the kind of environment that you have built, the kind of family you have. Actually, remember you used to tell me many years ago that we're a family. As Kalikumutima, we are the Kalikumutima family, right? And you didn't just talk about it, lip service. You actually did, over the years, walk the talk. It's been, for me personally, it's been about 6 years. coming to 7, but every single year it's been consistent on my end, reminding me, that we are family and seeing you walk the talk. And so when you make a comparative, even, from the stories I would hear around, even from, today we just had the presentations from the clerkship students making a comparative of what their friends are telling them they're going through. And it's something I relate with, the kind of health environment we have here, the kind of rapport that you build with literally everyone. In many law firms, there is the managing partners, they call them, and then the senior associates and the associates, and then the offices are partitioned. And so, as you said, it's a flat organization, really. And so that kind of builds a sort of relationship and brings the team together. And I'm wondering, how have you been able to maintain that humility over the years, regardless of the many achievements that you've registered as an individual, but also as the visionary behind the firm? So one wonders really how you've been able to maintain that humility and cultivate meaningful, intentional, purposeful, resourceful relationships with everyone that really comes, whether as an intern or, I came as an intern and 6 years here I am, right? So it's just amazing how you do it. So maybe you can share with us really how you've been able to, because many people grapple with humility. The higher they go up the chain, the spectrum, it becomes more and more difficult for them. So how have you been able to sustain that humility?
Well, I don't know how many achievements I have. You say I have many. But every day I pray to God for humility.
Yeah.
When you're young,
Yeah.
you're very aggressive.
Yeah.
You are a conqueror. I know it all.
Yeah.
I thank God that I have grown from that. I have a different perspective about life. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I'm work in progress. I keep doing better. I look for what matters in life that is beyond self, me. I'm not self-centered. I'm not selfish, but I know my flaws. And I keep working on them. And for me, again, it goes back to believing. Yeah. It goes back to God. Even when I bruise people or bruise myself, I'll acknowledge my mistakes, go back to the drawing table, and see how to do better. Now, it becomes easier, in addition to believing, when you have a team that understands you. They know your flaws, you know theirs. You help each other grow. That has helped me to a great extent. And not getting consumed by what life offers, what you call the achievements. Yeah, that's how I can put it. I can put it simply. We need to look for what matters, that value. Understand what these relationships mean to us and what more we can get out of them. And understand that you're not an island. When you do, it's very fulfilling. I'm glad that I'm on a journey. I pray for many more happy and fruitful years. I've had the opportunity of making mistakes. I call it an opportunity because therein I have been able to go back, reflect, and do better. Yeah.
Wow, Council, on my own behalf, but on behalf of my colleagues that we work with here, I would like to thank you so much for being intentional, but also for giving us the latitude to contribute our part to the vision that we've over time come to appreciate. But also, most importantly, for the environment you've created that we're able to work together and deliver on on the common cause that we have to see our farm so much higher above the horizon. So thank you so much. And as we come to the very end, I know I've said that probably like thrice or so, but finally, maybe just some final remarks from you in light of our discussion today. Maybe something I could have left out that you want to share with our audience.
Well, I think for now we have covered most of what you purpose to cover, guided by the questions. This is going to be a series of sorts.
Yeah.
Alfred has a story to tell, Penelope, yourself. But from me, maybe just to wrap it up, it's 8 great years, not so many. Actually, one would wonder, why are they even talking about 8 years?
Yeah.
But we have learned so much in such a short time. We have built relationships.
Yeah.
We are appreciating value better. We are being relevant. Look, for example, at the campaign that is spearheaded by Alfred, yourself, Ivan, that you run on social media every day. God has given us the opportunity to fill the information gap. So fulfilling. Do you charge anyone for it? No. But many people out there don't know what you're talking about. And it is not enough to tell them, well, ignorance of the law is no defense. No. So you guys, the team is doing an exceptional job to fill that gap. Part of our mission here is to fill the information void. That is fulfilling. And having values that are not just on paper is fulfilling. You go to offices, no corruption zone, integrity. And from the gate, you're welcomed by corruption.
Wow.
So living these values every day is fulfilling. Teamwork is fulfilling. Coming to work every morning and realizing you're not alone. You look at all these supporting people around you, and suddenly, even if you are low, you hold your head high and say, I can do it. Meeting your clients' expectations day in, day out. Setting a standard and living up to that standard is fulfilling. You have reason to live. You have reason to believe. Knowing that you're not alone aside the team, knowing that I have a God that I serve that watches over me every day is fulfilling. So, like I said, I can go on and on, but I know Howard is a married man. He has a wonderful wife who calls him daddy at home. Who's waiting to receive him.
I think we'll have to scratch that. I'm kidding.
So, yeah. So in a wrap, we thank God for how far we have come. We pray for many more fruitful and happy years of service, where we get to make a difference in society, where we get to touch lives. Whether or not we are paid, this is not for money. Whether or not we are serving annoying clients, clients who delay to pay you with very abnormal expectations, but we get to serve. We get to be busy without complaining that we are, because there's someone out there who does not have any work to do.
Yeah, that's true.
I thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Council, for sharing with us your thoughts, but also your experience. I'm afraid we'll have to take it at that. And so, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it from the visionary behind Kalikumutima and Company Advocates. And I mean, I can't add anything but to inform you that this year we are celebrating 8 years, and we are going to, in the next few days, just share with you some more details on what we are doing, but also on what the trajectory looks like for us. So really keep on the look on our social media handles on X, on Facebook, but also on our website, and we'll be sharing more. But also want to thank you for being part of our podcast today, and we thank you as well. Some of you are really our clients, and so we thank you for your unfaltering support over the years. And our pledge is really to continue doing what we know best, And that's excellence. Thank you so much.
Kalikumutima and Company Advocates, translating visions into reality. For more information, visit our website www.kalikumutima.com.